Delhi's 1.52 crore voters are going to vote for 7 Lok Sabha constituencies in Delhi. And with us, we have P. Krishnamurthy, the Chief Electoral Officer of Delhi. Let us speak to him. What are the arrangements and how are the preparations? Sir, what all are you doing to make the election successful, to make the voting successful?
We are doing all that we can do to make it a very successful affair. As you are aware, election is a very mammoth exercise, especially in India. As they say it, this is the biggest peacetime mobilization anywhere in the world. And Delhi, we have elections on the 25th of May. Election requires basically 3 elements: men, machine, and material. Men, in terms of the personnel required to conduct this mammoth task, the polling officers, the presiding officers, the sector officers, the micro observers, the expenditure observers, and various teams like flying squad, static surveillance team. Is an elaborate machinery that's put in on ground. So we have almost more than 1 lakh of people from various departments involved in this election process. The machines are...
If you could elaborate a bit on that, so what departments have you?
All the departments, they are from the state government, they are from the central government, they are from public sector, essentially government departments only, plus the public sector, the banks and insurance companies, etc. We draw people from different categories depending upon their rank and scale of pay to function in various functional responsibilities. So we have over 1 lakh of people drafted for this duty. They've all been trained in their respective roles. They have had hands-on experiences in their respective fields, and they're all ready now for the election.
This excludes security personnel, yes, or it includes?
Yes, this excludes the security personnel. Security personnel, we have central paramilitary forces allotted to us. We have a good strength of the Delhi police, entire Delhi police. And we also have home guards, not only from Delhi, we have also requisitioned from the neighboring state to strengthen our setup. So we have got some reinforcement from the neighboring states.
How many electors will be voting this time? What is the number? What is the number of female voters, male voters, and other voters?
We have about 1.52 crore voters in Delhi as of the last file publication a few days back, out of which about 82 lakhs are the male voters and roughly about close to 70 lakhs are the female voters. And we also have what is called third gender, about 1,230 of them in our electoral roll. So these are the people who are eligible to vote on the 25th. And out of them, we have a good number of senior citizens who are 85 plus, it's close to about 80,000. We have again another 75,000 voters who are marked as persons with disabilities.
Right. And you were carrying voting thing for the senior citizens and the disabled as well. How is the program going on? How many of them have voted until now?
We have, extended, the commission has extended certain facilities for the senior citizens. Senior citizens for the purpose of election is considered 85 plus. Yeah. And also persons with disabilities. They are 40% plus disability. Now, number one, they have been given the facility of postal ballot in the form of home voting. So those people can opt to vote from their home.
You've been sharing pictures with us.
Yes, we have about 5,500 of them who have registered, who have opted to vote from home. As of yesterday, we have almost 95% people exercising that. Few are left out. Some of them, I think, are went out of station. Some of them are admitted in a hospital on account of some illness or other, but we are trying to complete their voting also. And this has been well appreciated by them. They have really felt happy that they have been able to exercise their franchise sitting in the comfort of their home.
So is it How many, do you remember the number of voters, 85 plus voters in Delhi? The total number of voters, is it?
I said there are more than, there are almost close to 80,000, 85 plus, but 5,000, 85, 85 plus voters are close to 80,000. There are PWD voters 75,000 plus, right? Out of them, 5,500 have opted to vote from home. There is also, so rest of them want to come to the polling station and vote, right? And for them, from the commission side, we provide them pick and drop facility. Again, as a special gesture. So whoever opts requests for a facility, they can request through our helpline, through an app called Saksham app, or approach our BLO, or call our control room. So they will be given the facility of being picked up from home and brought to the polling station, and they don't have to wait in the queue. They can directly go and vote, and then they'll be dropped back at home. We have volunteers deployed at all the polling locations. We have wheelchairs, more than 4,000 wheelchairs deployed all across Delhi. So we would like to ensure a very smooth, comfortable voting experience for them.
I feel that there must have been a little lack of awareness, otherwise more people would have opted for this facility.
I am not sure, because we have publicized it well. And in fact, we have a list of the these persons falling in these two categories from each of the polling station. Our BLOs are to go to approach them individually and ask whether they would like to have this facility, use this facility. And in many cases, they have refused, saying that no, we would like to go and vote. We would like to go with our family, or we would like to go on our own. We are old, but we are not immobile. We'll walk. So I think there is a sense of pride also for some of them, that we don't want to be sitting at home and exercising our vote. We want to go out and show that we have come to vote.
Recently, I did a documentary on centenarian voters in Haryana, because it has one of the highest number of centenarian voters. So I spoke to a few of them, and they were like, "जब सारी दुनिया जा रही है, तो मैं भी क्यों ना जाऊँ?" So it might have been that way. So, sir, do you at this point of time, because it was a short notice, I know. So, do you remember how many centenarian voters are there in Delhi?
Offhand, I don't have the figure, but I can share with you later.
Right, sir. And centenarians have also opted for this, right? Many of them.
Yes. As I said, we treat 85 plus as one single category. So we have not subcategorized them into different age slots, but there are certain centenarians also. Some of them would have utilized the facility, but some of them would still want to come to the polling station and vote.
Very encouraging.
Absolutely. It's very, very reassuring to see that, the spirit. In fact, that's what I appeal to the young voters. Look at them. Here, first-time voters, we are reaching out, we are making efforts to tell them to come out and vote. Here are the people. In fact, I keep getting mails on my mailbox almost every day from the senior citizens saying that we would like to come and vote. Please give us this, please give us that, please let us know how we can do it.
I'm sure there are special arrangements for these people.
Yes, there are special arrangements. As I mentioned, there are volunteers. As I said, there's pick and drop facility. There are volunteers. There are wheelchairs at the polling stations, and they don't have to wait in the queue. So we'll ensure that they have a very smooth and pleasant voting experience.
There must be some polling booths or polling stations which are sensitive, and you must have made special arrangements for those stations as well. Apart from security personnel, what other security arrangements are there, like CCTVs and all?
No, we do analyze and see which are the polling stations which are, in terms of, based on certain parameters decided by the commission, which are the polling stations which are vulnerable or critical. We have about 2,800 of them out of the 13,641 polling stations, polling booths we have. So in those polling stations, there will be a higher level of deployment of the security forces. Apart from that, we have what is called live webcasting happening in 100% of these polling booths. We have cameras inside and outside. So we will be watching the live proceedings there. I have access sitting here in my office, in the CEO's office. The returning officer will have access sitting in his
So
office
you
there.
get live feed from each and every
Live feed from all these polling booths which are vulnerable. But otherwise also, beyond that, we are doing 50% of the polling stations are covered under the web streaming. So we are,
polling stations are there, sir?
as I just mentioned, there are 13,641 polling stations are there. 50% of them will be covered under the webcasting as per the Election Commission's guidelines. So we will have access to the proceedings in those 50% of the polling stations.
Any incentives that you planned for?
No, well, incentives, it's an election, we don't do any incentive part, but yes, the arrangements that we've been making are themselves incentives to make polling or voting a good, smooth, easy experience for people. But apart from that, there are agencies which are coming forward offering various things. As you would have noticed or you would have read in the papers, one of them is Rapido, the bike aggregator. They came forward offering that on the election day we'll offer free ride, to everybody who wants to use it using our app. So we have allowed them to offer free ride on the way back from the polling station to the home. We didn't want that to be sort of in any way misused while going to vote. Though inducement kind of thing for a voter. But yes, after you exercise your vote, when you go back, you can book your ride from polling station to your home. So they are going to offer free ride. Apart from that, some of the food aggregators, they have come out with offers to offering a very higher level of discount in some of those chains or restaurants that are under their, whatever patronage. To people who vote. So the people who have to go and show their ink finger in the restaurant and get that whatever discount is being offered. Apart from that, various market associations in Delhi, in fact a large number of them, malls, etc., individually, collectively, they have offered various kinds of discounts, which I think is appeared in the media also, ranging from 5 to 50%. To those people who go out and vote and then claim the discount by showing their ink finger. So like that, there are many organizations who are doing it. Of course, we are encouraging them to do it, but we are not offering anything directly incentive. We are making arrangements in such a way that it's a comfortable experience.
So it would have been good if elections would have happened in the months, comfortable months. It would have been easier for you. It would have been easier for voters like us. But since this is not the case, and the Met Department has predicted severe heat wave, so how are you going to do it? How are you planning to make voters comfortable in your polling booths?
See, the polling dates schedule is decided by the Election Commission of India, having regard to overall picture in the entire country, the festivals, the exam schedules, and various other factors. So we cannot really choose, but whatever is decided is a very well considered and thought out decision by the Commission in deciding the schedule. Now, as it so happens, in Delhi, we are in the 6th phase, which is on the 25th of May. Yes, it is peak summer, and IMD had predicted a bit of intense heat wave, which is there all over. We have been reading about it. So at the commission level as well as at the R level, we have taken various measures. We had meetings with the stakeholders involved in trying to deal with this situation, like the local bodies, MCD, NDMC, Delhi Cantonment Board, who are helping us with setting up of the polling stations in different locations, and also the Health and Family Welfare Department, the Delhi Jail Board, Women and Child. So we have had meetings and then reviewed also. Essentially, the arrangements are the enhanced arrangements involve setting up of polling near the polling stations, shaded areas properly covered, both for covering the queues which will be formed outside the polling station, also general waiting areas where people can wait for their turn. So those will be properly covered. And then we would also directed them to install air coolers or mist fans, whichever is available, so that that area, covered area, will have a reasonably decent temperature for people to wait. And second element is the drinking water. Most of our polling stations are located in schools, either government, private, MCD, except few of them non-school premises. Most of them have water coolers. We have taken a review. Functional water coolers they have. Some cases there is some problem, they've got them repaired. There are RO systems in many of them. So water is not an issue, and there's DJB supply is there. Apart from that, we have also emphasized on supplying cold drinking water because it's going to be extremely hot. So those arrangements are being made, they are in place. Apart from that, the third element, which is important, is the first time we are doing is deploying the paramedical staff in each of the polling locations. There are 2,627 polling locations. Each of the locations, there will be 1 or 2 paramedical staff with required basic medical kit, which includes ORS and other essential things to deal with the summer situation. So in case if somebody requires because of dehydration or other thing, there is medical help available right away. So that is something we have done. Apart from that, there is standard arrangements, the toilets, both for male, female and transgender separately, they have most of these institutions. There are ramps for the persons with disabilities. There are, as I mentioned earlier, there are 4,000 odd wheelchairs placed all over the polling locations. There are 8,000 trained volunteers deployed. So all these put together, we should be able to deal with the situation of summer and intense heat wave as predicted in the best possible way.
Right. So all the arrangements are there in place, and the CEO's office has made all the preparations and all the arrangements to take care of you in case you fall ill while you are on the way to vote, to elect the nation's government. So please go and vote because it is the biggest festival of democracy, and ours is the biggest democracy. So please do go and vote. Nivriti Mohan, News 9.